Well, 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 that hasn't happened in a long time. It's a great feeling when you're streaming and you get the blue screen of death. So, well, that was an entertaining game, cut short, unfortunately. So, that leaves us with, I guess we will, let's play another game. See if that one goes a little better. Yeah, that's a shame. We had a very entertaining game with Chaos Jim Culver versus Beyond the Gates of Sleep, and he was doing pretty well until yeah, then I crashed, and well, that's the end of that. So let's play again. Let's try the other side. Let's try Waking World side. That should be a great deal of fun with all the spiders. Thanks, guys. Glad to be back. Didn't want to leave everybody hanging there. That's really unfortunate. Fortunately, that's only the second time that's ever happened, so that is good. All right, let's head back to Octagon, if it will. I need to see if it will bring it up for me. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that is good. So we are all set up. Well, we're not set up yet. We'll get there. Let me just go and check the Waking World setup instructions, and we will try that out with our Jim Culver deck. Yeah, that's very disappointing. We had such a good game going there. Let's see. So I actually need to get a chaos bag for this thing first before we do this. So I'm going to do that first, so we don't have to draw from an ad hoc chaos bag. So what have all of you been playing out there recently? Arkham and non-Arkham. It's all good. So, just going to create a chaos bag here, and we shall be ready to go. Yeah, like I said, I was playing Maneater. It was quite fun, although a little bit repetitive after a while. It sort of reminded me of why I quit playing World of Warcraft way back when. It's like, go kill 10 of this fish. Okay, go kill 10 more of that fish. Okay, when you're done that, kill 10 more. So you end up doing the same sort of quests repeatedly. I recently became an adult shark in the game, and the difficulty level seemed to drop off pretty substantially because the adult shark can really do a significant amount of damage and kill a lot of stuff. We need 3 -1s. But yeah, other than that, I'm just waiting for new stuff to come out. We have, for those of you who have not had a chance to play the Blob yet, that will be coming out sometime soon. We also have, of course, Arkham Horror, which we do not have a release date yet for. I know everyone is looking forward to that. John has been playing lots of board games. Charterstone, Troyus, Leaving Earth, Mage Knight, Sanctum, learning rules for Stellar Horizons. Yeah, I've also been running my my weekly D&D game, which has been going pretty well. And we also need Cultist, Elder One, and then Elder Sign, Autofail. And I also run a game for my kids, so they are going through Forge of Fury at the moment. Yeah, there is going to be a ton of Arkham Horror content drop between, I'd say, August and October. There is going to be a lot of Arkham Horror stuff, and we still don't even know when Barkham Horror is going to drop. It's interesting that they have. I mean, FFG has been fairly good of late of putting release dates down for its products, but that one has not received a release date yet. So yeah, that's, I think, what is there going to be, five investigators in that thing, 5 dog investigators. And of course, people are going to be playing those through the regular campaigns. So I'm looking forward to doing that myself. And of course, the content creators are organizing Farkham Horror that will be taking place the weekend that Gen Con would have taken place, but it has since been canceled. So I hope everyone will tune in for that. There's going to be lots of good stuff, not just from myself, as well as from my counterparts over at Great Old Ones Gaming. We'll be doing some stuff, and I know Drawn to the Flame and Mythos Busters also are also in the midst of planning for that. So that is definitely something to look forward to. All right, we are setting up the Waking Nightmare. John is looking. There's a game. Can't say there is a game I'm looking forward to in 2020 more than Barkham Horror. Yeah, I hope it's good. Oh, great, Juicy. Yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to try to take some vacation around that time, so I have my time freed up so I can deal with that. So we only have we'll ignore the stuff about the cats. We will go, so we have to choose to convince the doctor to come with you, or we tell the doctor to stay with our patients. What happens if she comes with us? I've always told her to stay with her patient, but she starts in play. Farkham Horror is going to be an online Arkham Horror convention that is it is being organized in large part by the guys over at Mythos Busters. They have reached out to a bunch of the content creators, and I can tell you the dates here. The dates are going to be, I believe, July 30th through August 2nd. So stay tuned for announcements from various content creators who will be involved in that. There'll be events taking place there. I think they're trying to organize them so there's no overlap. So if there's a particular event that you want to attend, you will be able to. I've never played. I think we're going to need the help. So we are going to take the doctor with us this game. Okay, so we need to see how this is set up. Waiting room, emergency, experimental. Okay. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Waiting room, emergency room, experimental therapies ward, records office. Okay. Yeah, it's from the preliminary discussions. I don't think I can reveal anything yet, but from the preliminary discussions, it looks like Far Cry Horror is going to be a very a fun event with lots and lots of cool content for people to enjoy. So, all right, we start off at the waiting room, which is a 3-shroud location with 1 clue. And we will have to gather a bunch more clues, and I think we're ready to draw our opening hand, so we will do that. I believe we have our Chaos Bag, and we also have our Infestation Bag over here. Yes, we do. Okay. Let's see if I can remember how to play this one. All right, we're ready to draw our opening hand here. Oh, they reduced the number of cards. They've made a few tweaks in Octagon. We draw our Overzealous, which we can easily get rid of. All right, we've got a copy of Forbidden Knowledge, Premonition, Scroll of Prophecies, Perception, and 41 Derringer. I think we're going to get rid of everything but the Perception and the 41 Derringer. We get a Shriveling, we get Practice Makes Perfect, and we get Calling in Favors. So, yeah, not a stellar hand, but this is not a stellar deck. So we shall see. This, we are playing a Chaos Ultimatum Jim Culver build against the Waking Nightmare scenario from the Dream Eaters, T-Man. All right. I think we're ready to go. So we have the Doctor here. We can exhaust her to automatically invade and engage Suspicious Orderly, and when an investigator reveals a skull or cultist symbol on an infestation token, remove her from the game to cancel the token and return it to the Chaos Bag. I think we will take this opportunity to get Shriveling down. We will definitely need it for the spiders that will inevitably emerge. We might as well investigate. We are going 5v3. Chaos Bag says -1. So we grab this clue. And I think we will move up to the records office. Three shroud location with 2 clues. We can take 3 actions to take. If we are not engaged with any enemies, we can take 4 actions to take 4 basic investigate actions. We may actually do that. We do have a Practice Makes Perfect, but that was to fetch Perception. So since Perception is gone, we do get to draw a card for that. Clarity of Mind. Ho hum. That's a willpower skill icon, I think. So we go to our first upkeep. We draw a Torrent of Power. Now that we can power. We can use, that's one of our other practice skills, so we still have a couple left for Practice Makes Perfect. Torrent of Power off a Clarity of Mind wouldn't be too bad if we need to really pass a test. So that's something to keep in our back pocket. We add a Doom. Our first encounter card is going to be, now just want to check, No, nothing happening. We'll just draw an encounter card, which is Whispers of Hypnose. Choose a skill. For the remainder of the round, each investigator gets -2 to the chosen skill. You cannot choose a skill that has already been chosen. This card is probably in my one of the ones I expect to be replaced if and when we see the return to the Dream Eaters. It's pretty strong in multiplayer because it does have the peril keyword, so it can be tough to pick the right skill in multiplayer, but in solo it is really it is a nothing card because you just pick whichever skill you're never going to use, in this case agility. So we have no agility this turn, but that's fine because we don't need it. 3v3, or we can take 3 actions to take 4 basic investigate actions. I think we'll do that. We'll spend all 3 actions to take 4 since we're just going 3v3. I'm going to commit the practice makes perfect to the first one. So we'll go 4v3. Chaos Bag says 0, so we get a clue. We'll do it one more time. But now we're just going 3v3, which is not great. Chaos Bag gives us a -3. Our third action, we go 3v3. I think we'll just go, we can use the Torrent of Power next time. We can do, or maybe we'll, yeah, we'll just go 3v3. We've got one more before, yeah, there we go, we got it. Okay. And we have to take one more test because we get 4 actions because of the ability on the location, and we get a -1, so that doesn't matter. So we grabbed all the clues there. We've got all the clues at the waiting room. We need one more clue in order to advance. So far, this has been a really good start. There's our desperate search. Unfortunately, it's going to take a long time before we ever deal with that. We will advance. We are going to advance the agenda. Shuffle the set-aside Spiders encounter set and each set-aside copy of Outbreak into the encounter deck, along with the encounter deck discard pile. So that goes there. The Outbreaks come here. They are going in the deck. The Spider set. What is the Spider set? It is those ones. Okay. So that one, the Spider from Leng, that one, and that one, and this one. And then there's only those ones left. So all those go into the encounter deck. Draw the set-aside Infestation Begins story card and resolve its text. Where did I put that card? It's a good question. Let's go create one. Alright, so we play the Infestation Begins card and resolve its text. So place 1 damage token on the location with the most clues. there are no locations with the most clues, so we get to pick. So we will pick the Records Office. We will put a damage token on there. For the remainder of the scenario, damage tokens on locations represent the spreading infection. Each location with a damage token is an infested location. We have created a separate bag containing a skull, 4 tablets, and 2 cultists. This is the Infestation Bag. Flip this card over and place it next to the deck. Alright, so we've got our Infestation Bag ready to go. We delete that. We have 6 turns. At the end of the Mythos phase, we make an Infestation Test. Alright, so we need the second special discard pile out and ready to go. Just in case. And so we draw an encounter card. Let's shuffle up this deck one more time. We get a Rotting Remains, so we're going 4v3. 4v3. Sure. I'm going to keep the Clarity of Mind for the moment because I want to trigger a Torrent of Power off that. We get a -2, so we take 1 horror. No, not a big deal. Now we make an Infestation Test. We get a skull. A skull is set the token aside, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a spider enemy and spawn it at the infested location nearest to any investigator. So we get our first batch of spiders right off the bat. So the spiders show up. We need to put, they are swarming 2. Whoops. Let's shuffle that up again. Push the wrong button, of course. Swarming 2. All right. Okay, we've got our swarming spiders. They are engaged with us. And they are 3 agility, 3 evade, so that's going to be tough, but they are weak to being shriveled. So we have done the Infestation Test, so we are ready to continue with our turn. Let's shrivel some spiders. We will spend a shriveling charge to go 4v1. We get a +1, so we deal 2 damage. So these go back to the bottom of my deck. These swarm cards do anyway. Bottom of deck. We have 1 spider remaining. We can just kill that. We can go 3v1. Just regular punch it out. We get a -2, so this spider is dead. And I'm going to play Clarity of Mind for the first time ever in all the games I have ever played. Just so I can use it for Torrent of Power. Alright, so Clarity of Mind comes out, and that will be our turn. We draw Narrow Escape. Hi, Cryo Shark. Welcome to the stream. I am doing okay. I have, I took a little bit of a break in after the flurry of news that was April and the beginning of May. I took a bit of a break and back now. Just waiting for new product to come out. We've got lots of product in the pipeline, but none on the shelves. So looking forward to that. Busy working on my reviews for the rest of the Dream Eater cycle. Some should be out next Friday, I'm hoping. Cross my fingers. So hopefully that'll be out. And of course I have my 2 campaigns to finish as well. So lots to do. That was the upkeep phase. What have you been up to, CryoShark? We will go to Mythos and draw an encounter card. Outbreak. Perform an infestation test. If you are in an infested location, treat each tablet as a skull. So we are probably going to get more spiders. No, we do not get more spiders. We get to choose a location connected to an infested location. That location becomes infested. So the waiting room is now infested. Fortunately, we did not draw another spider. But we have to make yet another infestation test at the end of the Mythos phase. And we get a tablet, which is nothing. So far, so good. We made it through that. CryoShark says, glad everything is okay. My bank account likes the fact that the content isn't coming out too fast. Finishing my master's degree in physics here. Stressful stuff. I can imagine. Physics was never my forte. I took it in university and did okay, but that was with the help of a tutor to get me through it. Yeah, congratulations on the... hopefully you can wrap that degree up. And that's awesome. Master's degree. Cool. Good stuff. All right, let's move on. Where are we going here? I believe it's the experimental ward we need to go to. So we'll move once. We will move twice to the experimental ward. Oh dear. 4-shroud location with 2 clues. When you investigate experimental therapies ward, take 1 horror. Experimental therapies wards gets -2 shroud. Okay, we may need to do that. So yeah, let's do that. We will go... We will trigger the response to take a horror to give it -2 shroud. Can I trigger this twice to make it a 0? I feel like I can. Check that out here. Well, yeah, I can't remember. We are going 3v2. 3v2 for a clue and an advance if we can do it. I'm going to go 4v2. I'll commit the calling in favors. 4v2, Chaos Bag gives us an Elder thing. Set the token aside. No, that's the Infestation Test. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I'm fine. It's minus X. The other thing is minus X. X is number of infested locations. So I do pass. Yeah, I suspect you can continue taking horror until it's a 0. But we do manage to grab the clue. So we have our 4 clues, so we can advance. And so put the set aside stairwell and basement locations into play. Stairwell and where do we want to put them? Let's put them up. I think they're connected to that. Just going to move everything over here a little bit. Hopefully it's not on my head. And we'll put the stairwell here because it is connected to the experimental. We're going to shuffle these up and put those into play as well. All right. And that is our turn. If it is agenda 2 or 3, make an infestation test. Okay, well, we have to make an infestation test. We get another cultist, which means there is an infestation. We can go here. And then we reshuffle these into the infestation bag. All right, and that's that. So now we just need to find our friend Randolph Carter. And if we can do that, we are in good shape. So that all happened on our turn. Upkeep, we draw a Fearless. It's a willpower icon. We'll take it. We have a massive torrent of power ready if we need it. We can jack it by 3 willpower and 3 wild icons if necessary. Of course, we need to make those 2 tests to get Randolph, which I always seem to get the one and not the other, so hopefully we can get both. So far this seems to be going okay, though. We go to Mythos Phase, 2 of 6, and we draw a locked door. Attached to the location with the most clues, that will be the experimental lab. So, glad we got that. Yeah, glad we grabbed that clue there. Man, oh man, the locked door is not good for Jim. It is not a good card for him. So the experimental therapies ward is locked up. We will move to the stairwell. 3 shroud location with 1 clue. After you enter stairwell from a non-basement location, move to a basement location, then test 4 agility. If you fail, take 2 damage. I think we can do that. Let's take the 2 damage and move. We'll just pick the first one. We have random stuff going on again. So the operating room. 2 shroud location with 1 clue. 2 actions. Choose an investigator at your location and test 4 intellect. If you succeed, 3 heal damage from that investigator. If you fail, deal 1 damage to that investigator. I think we need clues for something in this, don't we? Containing the outbreak. Yeah, we can automatically succeed. Let's go 3v2. Chaos Bag says Elder Sign, so we grab this clue, and then we can move back to the stairwell. Okay, so if we can find... Actually, this is going pretty well. Probably one of my better playthroughs of this particular scenario so far with this with a deck. Oh, we get Final Rhapsody. Dun, dun, dun. Signature weakness. Reveal 5 chaos tokens from the chaos bag for each skull or auto fail revealed. Take a damage in horror. Draw X tokens from the chaos bag. 5 tokens. Here we go. We get, looks like 2. We drew an auto fail and a skull. So we take 2 damage and 2 horror. We've almost turned on Desperate Search. 1 more horror. It's 3 or less, right? Yep. 1 more horror, and we turn on our desperate skill cards, which could be good. Final Rhapsody dealt with. And that'll be our turn. 3 of 6 Doom. And we will draw an encounter card. I feel like I forgot an Infestation Test in there somewhere. Spider of Leng. Oh dear. I have never encountered the Spider from Leng before. You would think I would have, but I have not. 3 fight, 4 combat, 4 health, sorry, 3 evade. When the enemy phase ends, add 1 swarm card to each swarm of spiders enemy in play. If there are no swarm of spiders, search for a swarm and spawn it at the spider's location. Oh, that's not good. Okay, he's a big boy. We need to make an infestation test as well, which is going to be a tablet, which is nothing. Okay, yikes. This thing is bad news. So right now we're going 4 versus 4v3. We can shrivel it. Too bad it's at the stairwell. It's not a hunter either. If it was like over here, we could... The other option is we could move, take the attack of opportunity, cancel it with narrow escape, and then get +2 for our next skill test, which could be... kind of, yeah. Would it work? If, say, we dump the Spider of Leng in the operating room. The problem is... if we dump the Spider of Leng in the operating room, we would dump all the spiders in the operating room. Hi, Godab Games. How is it going today for you? Hope things are well. Welcome to the stream. We had a great game going before I crashed, unfortunately. It's a rare occurrence, but yeah, we were playing Chaos Gym against Beyond the Gates of Sleep. Had a good game going and lost it. But we are back playing Waking Nightmare. Just trying to decide whether we dump the Spider of Leng in the operating room and let him spawn all the spiders there and take them out of our hair, which might actually be a good plan. I think I'm going to do that. I am going to move to the operating room. Spider of Leng makes an attack of opportunity, which I cancel with Narrow Escape. I get +2 on my next skill test. I am going to use my Torrent of Power, pitch all 3 tokens off of Clarity of Mind to give it +3, so we get +3 agility, +3 wild icons and willpower, but the agility icons are the wild icons are what we care about. Yeah, Kodab Games, I've seen you've been doing a lot of custom Gator stuff over on your channel. That's really cool. I still need to get to work on my custom Manfromleng. I've had a prototype sitting around for a little while and haven't done much more work on it. So I will need to get that done. I have to go over and check out your custom Gators. We are going, so we are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 V3 to evade. Chaos Bag says -1, so we have evaded the Spider from Leng. We will dump him there, then we're moving away. And that will be that. So we have left this guy in a place where he cannot get us, and he is going to suck all the spiders out of the encounter deck and drop them in the operating room. Are they hunters? I should check that. Shoot. That might actually change my plan. No, they are not hunters. They just stay there. So that is fine. Yeah, custom scenarios are... I know a lot of people who have created their own scenarios, and it is a very time-consuming endeavor. There is I think investigators are probably one of the easier custom cards to create and probably balance between an investigator and their signature cards. That is a pretty... I think that's easier than tackling an entire scenario, which is there's a lot of moving parts in that, and yeah, that would be that would take a lot of work. That's much more work than I have time for, unfortunately. All right, so when the enemy phase ends, so we go to the enemy phase, and this spider will suck a spider out of the encounter deck and spawn it at a place that is not near us. Yeah, that's true. There are a lot of custom scenarios out there, as well as but I think if you went back, I mean, if you look back at, say, the old like the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game, there's plenty of scenarios in those books that you could that I think you could make a pretty decent scenario out of with a little bit of tinkering. So we've dumped a spider well away from us. We draw during the upkeep phase a copy of Healing Words. That's not great. Well, we're pretty low on health, so maybe we play that. Now we just need to find the doctor. We go to Mythos, 4 of 6, and we draw another Rotting Remains. Let's try to heal a horror. So we'll go 4, 5, V3. Chaos Bag gives us a -1, 2, 3. -3. So we fail by 1. Ouch. Well, we just turned on Desperate Search. So we took 1 horror. We need to make an Infestation Test. Nothing happens. Let's move here and see if we can't find our friend. Private room, 4-shroud location. We found him. We have found Randolph Carter's room. Parlay 2 willpower. If you succeed, test 2 intellect. If you succeed, investigators at this location may spend 1 clue as a group to give control of the set-aside Randolph Carter asset to an investigator. So we do have the 1 clue we need. We just need to pass 2 tests. Parlay, we are going 4v2. That should be okay. We get a skull. That is a -1 or 0 since we're playing our friend here. Let's commit our Desperate Search to the second skill test. So we are going 7v2. We get a -3 because of the Elder Thing. And we pass, so we get Randolph Carter. And now we have 5 willpower and 4 intellect. Randolph's good for our buddy Jim. Okay, so we have Randolph Carter. So we advance. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Okay, well, there's only 4 cards in it, so that's not a... Yeah, this whole spider strategy might actually pay some good dividends. Since they're not hunters, they're all just going to get dropped into the operating room, and they can stay there for as long as... So I have 1 action remaining. So now we have to see what we need to do. Okay, so each infested location gains test X, willpower X to attempt to seal the rift, X's shroud value. Investigators at this location may spend 1 clue as a group to automatically succeed. If you succeed, replace the damage token with a horror token. For the remainder of the game, this location cannot become infested. Hi, Ramon. Hope that you are having a fantastic day. How are you doing? Yes, this is our second game after the first game crashed, unfortunately, but this is actually going really well for a Chaos Gym deck. We will move back. So the shroud at... So the stairwell... So we need to seal the experimental therapies ward. Man, we might be actually able to win. If there are no infested locations in play, advance. All right, well, let's move back to the stairwell. And so then we go to the enemy phase. And we pull another spider. This one can come out. So another spider shows up in the operating room. And we will go to Upkeep. We draw a premonition. Nice. Okay. So we will know what we have to do for this one. We can't... all right. So we go to Mythos. 5 of 6. We draw yet another Rotting Remains. Holy cow. That's our 3rd Rotting Remains this game. But now we have 5v3, so that's pretty good. And we draw -2. So we are fine. 3rd Rotting Remains in this game. But I'd rather see Rotting Remains than pretty much any other card because we have the... we need to make an Infestation Test. We get a cultist, which is set this token aside, choose a location connected to an infested location. That location becomes infested. So we will infest the emergency room. And then we're going to seal off the experimental therapies ward and hopefully... if we can seal off this experimental therapies ward, we can basically... Hi, Halo Brock 99. Yeah, it's been a while. We played a game of Beyond the Gates of Sleep, which unfortunately ended in a crash. It was a pretty cool game we had going, but now we're playing Waking Nightmare, and we're actually doing pretty well with a Chaos Gym deck, so we shall see. Yeah, I decided to, I took a little bit of a break during May and the beginning of June, but we've got lots to do, lots of content coming out here in the next couple months, so... So let's go to the experimental therapies ward. We want to seal this place off. So we are going 5. Now what we could do, I think actually what our plan here is, we take 2 horror to reduce the shroud value to 0. We can put 1 on the doctor and 1 on Randolph. We will investigate 4v0. What am I looking for here? 4v0. We get a 0. Oh, we can't investigate here. Shoot. There's a stupid... no, we can't do that. Stupid gate. Stupid locked door. Go back. So we will just have to seal this off best we can. So test X. We are going 5v4. Let's play our premonition to see what our chaos token is going to be. It's a -4. Okay. So we're not going to succeed. Our test is not going to succeed this turn. So we can take an action to burn. To burn this, we'll just go. We'll just try to open the locked door and fail miserably. So now we can attempt to seal this off. Again, 5v4. Let's go 6v4. And hopefully that'll be enough. Skull is a 0. Thanks to Jim's ability. So that goes away. And we put a horror token on here. And that is sealed. Remainder of the game, this location cannot become infested. Okay, so we've halted the infestation at the experimental lab, so we just have these 3 locations we need to deal with. Enemy phase, our friend the Spider of Leng pulls another spider out of the deck. I think there's only 3. Is that all the spiders? I believe it is. That's pretty good. Okay. We get a run for your life, which is actually turned on for us, so that's good. We've got a good evade if we need it. Although I think most of the enemies are in the operating room at this point. 6 of 6, we are advancing. Find each suspicious orderly enemy in play and replace it with the set-aside corrupted orderly. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for each copy of suspicious orderly and remove them from the game. We don't have any of those in play. So we can get rid of these guys. And I believe the shuffle the set aside Atlak Nacha encounter set and each remaining corrupted orderly. So those go in there. These also go in there. Are those spiders by chance? They are spiders. That is sweet. If we can just get the... Will the Spider of Leng pull them? Oh, we have to add... Okay, we've been screwing up here, but we can fix this. So we have to add a bunch of swarm cards here. Okay, so how do we do this? Okay, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here. So that was the first one. So then we draw 2. Then we draw 3. Ooh, this could get bad. Okay. So those are all swarm cards. There's a massive swarm of spiders in the operating room. So we need to beat this scenario like super quick. We're going to run out of deck. We are going to run out of deck quick. Because we're going to lose 3 cards a turn. No, the Spider from Leng only... Spider of Leng only grabs swarms of spiders, so that's fine. So we add a 2 tokens to the bag. A skull. And a cultist. All right. So we did that. We did that. Okay. At the end of the Mythos phase, we make an infestation test. Each spider enemy at an infested location gets +1 fight and +1 evade. So there are a ton of spiders in the operating room, but we're not going there. We're just going to try to clear out these other infestations. We need to draw an encounter card. We get a Frozen in Fear. That's really annoying. But we actually have willpower to beat it if necessary. And then we need to make an infestation test. We get a cultist. Set this token aside. Choose a location connected to an infested location. That location becomes infested. We cannot do that because all the locations are infested. So there are now 2 of those, so we shuffle those back into the deck. What happened? I think we... Which one is this? Special. Second special. Yeah, these are all. There we go. Okay. So we passed that infestation test. Now we just need to seal off all of these locations before we die to running out of cards. Move, fight, or evade takes another action. So we move to the waiting room. And we will try to seal this location off. We are testing 5v3. Chaos Bag says the Elder Thing, which is number of infested locations, which is 3. Shoot! Oh, wait. We can draw 2 cards. That's all we get out of it. We get a Premonition and a Guard Dog because we can use Randolph Carter. We test... Somebody dinged me. Thank you very much for the follow, Dave Fernandez. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. We need to test Frozen in Fear, 5v3. We get a 0. So Frozen in Fear is gone. Man, that's too bad. If we could seal that off, we would have been in such good shape. During the enemy phase, we are going to lose 3 more cards, 2 to the massive infection in the operating room. There are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 spiders in the operating room. I really hope there isn't a card that says all spiders move to your location and attack. That would be funny. I have been keeping up with the... I'm not sure if I've been keeping up with all of the leaks, Halo Brock. I have seen some of them. I have seen some of the leaks, but I have not received any more spoilers from FFG. So hopefully if they are spoiling cards, I will receive another one if they are kind. Yeah, 13 spiders jumping on me, Kodab Games, would be bad to say the least. But at least we don't have our... so we draw David Renfield. We go to the Mythos Phase. We draw an encounter card, which is going to be Night Terrors. After you fail a skill test, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, draw each weakness revealed, and remove the other cards from the game. If Night Terrors is in your threat area, test 4. Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Not too worried about that. We need to do an infestation test. Nothing happens. Wow, we've been getting really lucky with those. So we have 2 actions. We've got 3 actions back because we got rid of that stupid thing. So we're going to play our Premonition to draw a Chaos token. Another -4. Come on. Give me a break. So we just burn... We'll just do an Investigate act. We'll just do an Investigate action to burn that token. Now we will try 5v3 to deal with this location. We get a 0. So this is gone. And then we will move to the emergency room. 2 shroud location with 1 clue. Well, the auto fail is basically Manfromleng's signature token. So I'm surprised I haven't seen one in 2 games. While you're at the emergency room, each of your skill tests gets +1 difficulty for each card committed to it. That's fine. Oh, we're so close to beating this thing with a chaos deck, no doubt, no less. We lose 3 more cards during the enemy phase. So for those of you keeping track, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 spiders at the operating room. And so we go to Upkeep. Fortunately, we have... Oh, there's Overzealous. Oh, how is that? How is that possible that it didn't end up in... Oh, I had to trigger this thing too. After you fail a skill test, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Draw each weakness revealed this way and remove the other cards from the game. Okay, how do we do that? So these 3 were the new ones added. So there are no weaknesses there. So these go away. So yeah, that actually saves me. Because what happens is, because of this stupid Night Terrors, I lost the top 3 cards, and then the next 3 cards, which included the Overzealous, get put. So those are the cards that go. Man, this is getting too many things to keep track of. All right. So then we draw a card for the upkeep phase. We take a horror because of we have to reshuffle our deck. And then we put these cards back in. So we have just a couple turns to finish this game off. All right. So we go to Mythos. 2 of 8. We draw Sickening Webs. Attached to your location, each spider enemy at attached location gains Retaliate and Alert. Investigators cannot move out of attached location. Test Combat or Agility 3 to succeed in disc. So there are no spiders. They're all in the operating room. All 16 of them. But we can't move away. We have to do an infestation test, which could be bad. Yeah, we can't infest anything. We draw a cultist again. No infestation. We can test 5. So we get our 3 actions. We're not going to be able to finish the game this turn, but we could do it next turn. So we're going 5v2 to deal with the infestation. We draw 0. So the infestation is gone. So we have 1 infested location to deal with, and then we win. But we need to move away from the Sickening Web, so we'll use Run for Our Lives. We'll commit that to go 6v3 as an action. That is a -1. So we pass. We can use, after a Elder Thing symbol is revealed during a skill test at your location, exhaust Randolph Carter to draw 2 cards. And we will use our last action to move to the waiting room. Oh, we're so close. We're so close. And that's going to be it. So we go to the enemy phase. 3 more spiders show up in the operating room. I will be curious to see what our spider total is at the end of this game, because there are a lot of them up there. We go to Upkeep. There's Final Rhapsody. Ooh, that's nasty. That could kill us. Maybe. Well, we'll see. Reveal 5 tokens. Draw X tokens. 5 we go. We get nothing. It totally whiffs. We drew an Elder Thing, a 0, an Elder Sign, a -1, and a -4. So it totally whiffs. We go to the Mythos phase. 3 of 8. We draw an encounter card, which is Glimpse of the Underworld. When you would take damage or horror, take an additional damage or horror. Sure. That's fine. We need to make an infestation test. We get... Set this token aside, search the encounter deck and discard call for a spider enemy and spawn it at the infested location nearest to any investigator. Okay. We have to get one of the nasty spiders, though. I think the Grey Weaver is the only one we can take. Yep. Yep. Grey Weaver is the only spider left, but it goes up here. Okay. That was the infestation test. So what we need to do is we have how much damage and horror is this going to inflict? 1 and 1. So we can take a hit from it. But this thing would... we could sacrifice the doctor, throw everything into the skill test. We need a -4. So can we do this in one turn? I think this is the turn we win the game if we can. Okay, I'm going to play... I'm going to play the Holy Rosary. I'm going to use the ability on Glimpse of the Underworld to take a damage and a horror. I am going to move into the records office, engaging the Grey Weaver. I am going to I'm going to take the action to contain the outbreak, taking an attack of opportunity, which is going to kill the doctor. So she's dead, but we have one chance to beat this game. We will commit the Fearless to it. So we are 7v3. Am I correct? 4, 5, 6, 7v3. Chaos Bag says -1. We remove the infestation. We add a horror. If there are no infested locations in play, we advance. We get R2 because she joined the... So you get R1 if Dr. Maheswaran joined the investigation and she was still in play, which she was not. Actually, we could have probably saved her. We would have taken 2 horror and a damage. Yeah, we could have saved her if we had known. So not a big deal. We could have ended up with either R1 or R2. So no big deal. But yeah, we actually beat this scenario with an Ultimatum Chaos Gym deck. That is... I did kill her, but I didn't know. If I had known that not to kill her, I would have taken the attack of opportunity from the Grey Weaver, So I could have moved the horror around a little bit. She would have taken 1. The Holy Rosary would have taken 1, and I would have had to taken a damage, which I could have dumped on what's his name? Randolph Carter. So I didn't need to kill her. I just did it out of expediency. But if I had known that to keep her in play, I could have done it without losing the game, without losing her. So how many spiders did we end up with in the operating room? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 spiders. There are 19 spiders in the operating room. Yeah, sometimes, you know, chaos decks don't... Yeah, juicy. 19 spiders in the operating room. So that play of dumping... of moving into the operating room with this narrow escaping. So the play was we moved from the stairwell to the operating room, playing narrow escape, to then evade the Spider of Leng, dumping it in the operating room, and then letting it pull all the spiders out of the deck and dumping them into the operating room. And then basically I have half my deck in the operating room. So I didn't have to deal with enemies for the rest of the game. Except for this Grey Weaver, who was like the only spider left. But I didn't need to kill him. I just needed to clear the infestation, which we did. So we would have gotten R1 or R2. Wow. I don't think I've done that well in this scenario, to be honest, over the years. So... yeah, what would Storm of Spirits do? 2 damage to each enemy? So it would have killed all the little ones. But they were +1... oh, no. It would have killed... 1 Storm of Spirits would have wiped out all of the spiders and done 2 damage to the Spider of Leng. That's pretty cool. Well, that game was fun. Thank you very much, David. Yeah, that was... I'm glad you guys tuned in for the second game. That was a lot of fun. We managed to beat Waking Nightmare with a... yeah, it wouldn't have killed the Spider of Leng. It would have just done 2 damage to it. But yeah, killing 19 spiders with 1 Storm of Spirits would have been impressive. Did I have a Storm of Spirits? No, I did not. The Storm of Spirits was probably over here somewhere. So yeah, we build a Chaos Gym deck who did pretty well against Beyond the Gates of Sleep. I'm not sure if we would have had enough time to beat it because we were really suffering for intellect and we hadn't drawn a Sixth Sense. So I'm not too sure if we would have had enough time to beat that scenario, but we ended up making a pretty important play in this one, dumping all of the spider enemies into the operating room and then leaving. And we found Randolph and sealed off all the we made a good play to seal off the experimental therapies ward, and then it was just a matter of clearing up the last 3 locations, which we did. So yeah, dynamite would work too. I think dynamite would take care of the Spider of Leng too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it doesn't. Spider of Leng would have 1 health left. That's with Dynamite 2. I assume Dynamite 3 or level 0 Dynamite. is also 3 damage. Yeah, so Spider of Leng is pretty resistant to getting blown up and or Storm of Spirited, but the rest of them are very vulnerable. So awesome. Well, I am glad everyone tuned in to the stream today. It's good to be back. Good to be playing some Arkham Horror for all of you again. Glad to put up at least one W after the most unfortunate crash of the previous game, but super stoked about this victory. And I will be back. I've got my reviews of the Dark Side of the Moon. I hope, cross my fingers, they will be out next Friday. And then I need to play the rest of this cycle, get those games up as well. And we will wait with bated breath for all of the product releases that are coming out here in the next couple months. And hopefully we will find out soon when Arkham Horror is coming out. Yes, I have that's why I was able to dump the Spider of Leng into. I was able to persuade the Spider of Leng to get into the operating room and hang out there, and that strategy. I mean, that doesn't work if any of the spiders have Hunter, unfortunately, but they don't. What else? And yeah. Stay tuned. There will probably be more announcements coming out soon about Arkham Horror, the replacement, the online replacement for Gen Con at the end of July, beginning of August. Lots of content creators are going to be participating in that, including myself and my counterparts over at the Great Old Ones Gaming podcast, as well as Mythos Busters and Northern Lights over Arkham, I believe, is doing something. And Drawn to the Flame as well. So there'll be plenty of content on that weekend for you and to enjoy. And I'm sure the more information about that convention will be start coming out here in the next couple weeks and months. So that is going to do it for me today. I think we are going to I can probably send you a link, Codap Games, if you're interested in participating, and I can hook you up with the people who are doing the organizing. Yeah, it's Justin and Scott of Mythos Busters have been reaching out to people, so if you're interested in participating, you can get into contact with them, and they can help you out. So that is going to do it for me today. Longish stream because we had basically broken up in two. But I will be back probably next week with another stream and more games to come. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your day and a fantastic weekend filled with lots of Arkham Horror action. And I will be back next week with more great Arkham Horror content. Hope that you will tune in then. That's going to do it for this stream. If you enjoyed this content, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you need to contact me, I can be reached at manfromleng@gmail.com. I am also on Twitter at manfromleng. Until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your elder sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investing.